Bring in Ross Tucker, CBS Sports, Westwood One analyst, host of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. You got a Mike McCarthy cliche that he utters today?
No, but I kind of like, Dan. You got a decent Pittsburgh accent. You do a decent Mike McCarthy Pittsburgh. I've never heard that before.
Well, he just loved football. That's all he does. He loved football. We're blue collar team, blue collar town, just like we love football. You went to Princeton, and you tell us all the time.
No, I don't. I don't say it all the time.
You wear a Princeton
shirt. I do wear it every time I come on.
You got a Princeton zip-up, 3/4, and you got your Princeton helmet behind you.
Yeah, it's branding, Dan. It's branding. I was not like some Hall of Fame player, Pro Bowl player. So how are people going to remember me? They're going to say, "Oh yeah, he's the guy that went to prison. He's the smart guy."
Hey,
it's all branding. It's intentional.
You might have made the Pro Bowl, considering that Shedeur Sanders gets to make the Pro Bowl. They might have said, "We need somebody." How about you, Ross?
That's actually a good point. In 2004. I definitely had a better season than Shedeur Sanders had this year.
Not at quarterback.
No. But back then they would actually it was hard to make the Pro Bowl. I honestly, I talked about this morning on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, and forgive my ignorance, I legitimately don't even know how he was the next alternate up. I'm sure he won the fan vote, in a landslide. How is it Drake May's out, so Shedeur Sanders is in?
A lot of people had to say no.
Evidently.
But I get it. This is a TV show. That's what they're doing. I understand you're going to bring him in. I'm okay with it. I don't value the Pro Bowl designation like I used to. And my suggestion is that you have an NFC, AFC Pro Bowl roster that you announce. Whether they can play in it or not, you're still the Pro Bowl player at that position for that year. Anybody else is just a Pro Bowl games participant and should be noted and not on your resume that you were a Pro Bowl player.
I agree with that 100%. That seems like a fantastic way to go about it, because there needs to be some distinction between the guys that actually earned it and the guys that were the fourth alternate and ended up. But I honestly don't even know what it's called. The Pro Bowl. They play like flag football. I really don't even know what they do anymore. Anyway.
They have challenges and tug of war, and Okay, but let's be fair. Let's say you had a chance in 2004, and they said, "Hey, we would like for you to be an alternate for the Pro Bowl." Would you have done it?
Absolutely. I would have been.
If you knew that there were 20 linemen in front of you who declined going to the Pro Bowl.
Yes. You know why? Because if you looked at my Wikipedia, it would say, Ross Tucker's a former Pro Bowl offensive lineman from Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. It's like I won. I can't remember. Oh, I know what it is. I do Eagles preseason games, as you know, Dan, and I've been nominated, or we've been nominated for multiple Mid-Atlantic Emmys, right? So you know what I am. I'm an Emmy-nominated broadcaster. And that's legit. You can look it up. There's links and everything. I am an Emmy-nominated broadcaster. I haven't won it yet, but I've been nominated.
Seton, would you give Ross the two poll questions today?
Yeah, right now we've got up there, which wins more games, gut feeling or analytics? And then another one here from Paulie, which would NFL fans prefer in the new head coach of their team, the hot young assistant or the older established coach?
Well, the second one is, are you asking my opinion or what I think people want?
No, your opinion.
Ooh. My opinion is probably the older established coach. I don't know what, I know everybody immediately goes to Mike McCarthy, but I'm looking at more like Stefanski, John Harbaugh, Saleh. I think what these teams are doing by hiring guys and giving them a second chance or a second, I think that's smart. everybody in life learns from your mistakes and you'd like to think would get better when you get a second opportunity. I certainly feel like I'm a better broadcaster than I was, when I was starting out. So give me the guy with experience, because you're really rolling the dice with the guy that's never done it before. In terms of analytics versus gut, I will lean probability. I will lean to the numbers. I will lean analytics. But I don't like how that's phrased.
See, probability is okay. When you say analytics, it triggers something in people.
It's 1,000% correct. And that's the thing. Like, analytics is just probability. And I know Stink was on with you guys yesterday and got a lot of attention because he doesn't like nerds and all that stuff. I know that any player that's ever played, the defensive coordinators pore over tape to try to identify what you're most likely to do in these situations. When they're in this personnel grouping, they're 75% run to the right or 32%. What? I'm just making it up, okay? All that the analytics are trying to do is allow you to know what the probability is of each decision you could make. The issue I have, Dan, let's talk about the Sean Payton decision, all right? And let's just say, because I saw where Greg Olson said the analytics said to kick, which surprised me, by the way. 4th and 1 from the 14, that would surprise me. I'd like to talk to Greg about that and see where he's getting that information. But these are living, breathing games. Like, do the analytics, which you've created before the game, how much do they take into account that you have Jarrett Stidham as your quarterback? How much you take into account it's going to snow in the second half? How about the fact that if you kick the field goal, you're going up by 2 scores? That's why I think it's really important that these coaches take into account what the win probability tells them, take into account what the analytics recommends, but then also use your own judgment. It should really just be one of the inputs that you're factoring into ultimately making the decision, because some of the other inputs you should be considering are not built into the analytical model, which, by the way, every team has their own. So when you see these these games where they're like, the analytics say, yeah, the analytics is not some Bible that is like every team's reading from the same book of analytics. It's every team has their own model based on their own things that they value and don't value.
Ross Tucker, CBS Sports Westwood One broadcaster and host of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. He will be the color analyst on the Super Bowl for UK radio.
How about that?
How is your British accent?
Oh, I'm not going to try to do that. But, the play-by-play guy is the redheaded guy with the beard, Will Gavin, who went viral for some of his calls during the playoffs. He's play-by-play. I'm color. It's going to be electric. I have no idea who is going to be listening to the Super Bowl on the radio in London at 2 a.m. No idea if there's anybody. But I promise you, as God is my witness, that is going to be an electric broadcast. Will Gavin and me, if you happen to be listening to your radio in what's it called? Abbey, whatever the Abbey thing is called. I don't even know. 12:30 to 4. We are going to be killing it.
What
is the Abbey thing?
Are you the John Madden of UK radio?
I'm going to be for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I will. I in all sincerity, I'm going to ask Will this because I'm interviewing him today for my podcast. If you're in the UK and you're really into football enough that you're going to watch the game, that you're going to be part of the game from 12:30 to 4 a.m. local time, you're probably watching it, right? You're probably not listening to me. Although maybe they can watch it and mute the TV and then listen to me. People do that. That works.
You never know who's going to be listening.
That's right.
You never know. There could be somebody who hears you and they go, wow, you know what? I have that guy in mind. They're the director for Marty Supreme, the Timothy Chalamet movie, was a big fan of Howard Stern. and Howard had a couple of his callers, regular callers, that this guy put in the movie with Timothy Chalamet, and one, Marianne from Brooklyn, is in a scene with Timothy Chalamet, and it's only because that one of the Safdie brothers said, I want her in the movie. You never know.
So that's incredible. Almost as incredible as the fact that I'm familiar with who that actor is, and I've seen him like courtside at the Knicks.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch television or movies like other than like documentaries or football documentaries. Dan, I swear, I thought his name was Chalamet. I had never heard it pronounced before. I had no idea it was Chalamet, and Chalamet sounds so much better than Chalamet.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet is not from Pittsburgh.
No, he's not. He's from New York. His dad is French. Timothy Chalamet. The Rams lost because ...
Because the kid muffed the punt. I mean, and their defense blew it. You know, I mean, those are the two things that jumped out to me. That's rough to have a guy that earlier in the game, he's a second-year kid from Florida A&M, Xavier Smith. He muffs it, Dan, but they recover it. So you could have made the decision, theoretically, to put Kyron Williams back there. The kid muffs another one. They get a touchdown. Then you put Kyron Williams back there. That was obviously a huge difference. But I don't know what happened to the Rams defense. I mean, Clint Kubiak, that's a guy that should get a head coaching job. The OC for the Seahawks, he impressed me, and they lit up the Rams. The Rams defense needed to be better than that. I mean, Stafford played unbelievable, and they still lost.
The Broncos lost because
Sean Payton got out-coached, and Jarrett Stidham did the only things he can't do. I mean, it felt like to me that, and I think Sean Payton's a good coach, but you got to kick the field goal there. You got to kick the field goal. You got to go up 2 scores. I thought that was, and that was not hindsight. I'm literally eating the press box food in Seattle. Ask Kurt Warner, name drop, sitting next to Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, and we're watching the game. And as soon as it's 4th and 1 from the 14, Kurt and I are both like, kick the field goal, go up 2 scores. And then Kurt even says he's going to run the running back into the flat, which was exactly the play call, and it was totally covered. So they should kick the field goal there. And then Stidham, I mean, if Stidham just doesn't fumble that backwards pass or whatever calling it, the Broncos probably win the game. It's a screen pass. That's not on Sean Payton. That's a safe play. Dirt the ball. Broncos probably win that football game.
what are the Steelers getting with Mike McCarthy?
Tough, hard nose. Pittsburgh football coach. He's just a guy from Pittsburgh that loves football. Always has, always will. When I was working at Pitt, I had to do the overnight shift on the turnpike, collecting tolls. I actually love Mike McCarthy. Dude, imagine not only getting a chance to coach 3 NFL teams, but it's the Packers, the Cowboys, and the Steelers?
I know.
I mean, that'll never happen again. That'll never be a thing. It's funny because I have a lot of friends that are Steelers fans. They are very upset. And I think the big thing is they kind of wanted a reset, Dan. But you never know what the owner's looking for. McCarthy must have sold them on, I can get Aaron to come back. We can do one more run at this thing with Cam Hayward and TJ Watt and this core group of guys. And if you've noticed, the Steelers, that's what they like. They like to be in the mix. They like to win 9 or 10 games and make the playoffs. And that must have been what they wanted to hear. But who knows? I mean, he can do it for 6 to 8 years and be competitive. I think Steelers fans were ready to go to a new era. And I don't want to say rebuild, but they were ready for a young coach and a new young quarterback.
More impressive, the turnaround by Indiana football or the Patriots this year?
It's a really good question. I'll say Indiana football, just because they've been so bad for so long. To go from there to win the national championship in 2 years at the college level, and I know the portal's changed stuff and NIL or whatever. What Vrabel's done and the Patriots are super impressive because I did a couple of their games on TV last year. They had the worst receiving core in the league. They had the worst offensive line in the league. But you could tell Drake May was the goods. You could tell Drake May was the real deal. And they were very, I think, poorly coached probably last year. Coaching was an issue. So I'll still say Indiana's more impressive than New England. New England's had, I mean, Dan, think about New England's run to the Super Bowl here. They probably don't win that game unless CJ Stroud loses his mind. They probably don't win against Denver unless Peyton doesn't kick the field goal and Stidham makes those decisions. Yeah. It's funny because I just recorded the Even Money betting podcast and my co-host said they are limping to the Super Bowl. That might be a little bit of a stretch. I don't know if I'd go that far, but needless to say, the handicappers are not very impressed by how the Patriots are playing going into the Super Bowl, which is why the Seahawks are favored by as much as they are.
Ross Tucker, the voice of English football, our football.
I like that. I got to add that to the Wikipedia. The voice, the Super Bowl voice
yes.
of English football.
Yeah. We'll see you next week in San Francisco.
Yeah, 6 a.m. Fritzy's only texted me 7 times about it so far. 7 times.
Todd.
I'm there's a pretty good chance at 6:10 a.m. San Francisco time. Oh, Todd, I overslept. I can't make it. I really just want it. Like, he's going to have a nervous breakdown. It's unbelievable.
If he was going to have a nervous breakdown, he would have already had it. Just saying. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
That's Ross Tucker. Ross Tucker Football Podcast, and he'll be on the call. Super Bowl analyst, Talk Sport UK Radio.